Whoops, I'm live. Good morning, everybody. So welcome to Tuned In on Wednesday. Tuned In on Tuesday was supposed to be delayed and then just didn't happen. And I know a lot of you reached out because you saw my shattered glass post. So I'm going to give you a brief synopsis of what happened, and then I'm going to actually tie it together and tell you how I kind of sucked meaning out of something that seemed to be an inopportune event at an inopportune time. So yesterday was my son's 10th birthday, double digits, right? A milestone birthday that we celebrate. Milestone birthdays pretty big in our family. And so I dropped my kids off at school, and then I had a whole day planned. And the day was to begin with a walk in the park with Isla, my puppy, to just get my exercise out of the way and then start all the errands I had to run. Good morning, Becky. Please, if you're here, say hi. Tell me where you're from. Tell me what your day is like. Tell me how you tune into Trust. Tell me something. And if you watch this on replay, hashtag replay and tell me where you're from. So anyways, I get to the park, and I had heard on the way to the park like this pop in the window. And I thought a rock hit my window. I thought a pebble kind of hit my window. So I pulled into a parking lot, and I looked at the glass. I touched around. I didn't see any cracks. I didn't see any dings. So I was like, that's weird. It really sounded like something hit my window, and yet I don't see anything. Excuse me. So I kept driving. I get to the park, and it's a state park, so I had to pay $4 to get in, and I go to roll down my window to get in, and it went and then right down into the door jamb. So needless to say, I did not go to the park. I decided to go on a mission to get this window fixed. My first stop was Safelite. They couldn't fix it that day. They were a week out. They could fix it a week out, and instead they put like a film on my window just to cover it so it was weatherproof. But the film was like a foggy film, so I couldn't see through it, and I didn't think that was safe. I didn't feel comfortable driving like that. So I go to the Chrysler dealership. I get to the Chrysler dealership, and not only are they so rude, but they're like, we can't fix it before Saturday. There's nothing we can do. We can sell you the part, but the regulator part, because that's what actually snapped, but we can't fix it for you. So I'm like, what? So I have this idea to just call mechanics in the area and see if I bring them the part, if they can fix it. Don't ask me where I got that idea, but I got the idea. And so I Google mechanics near me, and I get the number of a woman. She says to me, well, listen, we're a Mercedes only shop, but I got a guy, I got a guy for you. So she gives me the number of a guy, and serendipitously, the name of his shop is TNT, Tune In Trust. So, I call this guy, and he's like, yeah, go buy the part at the dealer, bring it to me, and I'll absolutely fix it, and you'll have it done by this afternoon. And so it worked out, right? And it taught me so many lessons, because Rebecca and I were talking about this morning and what the big meaning of all this could be. But I also want to just share with you, I had this feeling in my heart, like, do you trust the universe has your back or not? Because you can't. Trust is like, it's like that for better or for worse vow when you get married. Do I only love you when things are good, or do I also love you when things are not so good? Do I also love you when things are tough? Do I still love you when we're fighting? Do I still love you when we're having a bad day? Right? And trust is the same way. You can't just employ trust when things are working for you and be like, oh, look, everything's perfect. I trust that this was great. And then as soon as things kind of fall apart and shatter, literally, that you're like, see, this didn't work the way I planned. So this is going to be bad. So trust is that you have it or you don't, and it's not based on circumstance. And so I had to ask myself, do you believe the things that you say? Do you trust the universe to always have your back? Do you trust that things are always going to work out? Yes or no? And it's not a maybe, it's not a gray, it's a yes, it's a no. right? And I sat with myself and I was like, yeah, I do trust it. I do believe that. It is a core belief of mine. Okay, then this thing that's happening right now that's kind of got you all wound up because it's your son's birthday and you had errands to run and you were going to go walk at the park. And this is not working out the way you thought. This is like a pain in the ass. It's something you have to deal with that you didn't want to deal with. But I had to employ that unconditional trust. If I trust, then I trust in all situations. So what could this mean? Well, it could mean that this was protection from something worse that could have happened, right? Maybe this prevented a crash. Maybe, I don't know, because I don't have a bird's eye view, right? I don't have God's perspective. I'm sitting here looking at what I can see. But trust means believing in what you cannot see. And I can't see the whole dance floor. I can't see the whole ballroom. I could just see where the part of the ballroom where I'm dancing. And so I have to believe that this part moves here and this part moves here and these people move here. And so that we all can move around this ballroom of life without bumping into each other, right? It all works out for us. And so when you say, I trust that the universe is working for me, I trust that the universe has my back, I trust, I believe, I trust, then it has to apply even in those annoying, dark moments. And so I thought, well, either this is protecting me from something worse than a broken window, or it's leading me into something better. And maybe it's not an or, maybe it's an and. Maybe not only am I being protected from something, but maybe I'm being guided towards something else, maybe something wonderful. It's just like that tiny pivot. Being here at this time changed my timeline so that, who knows, maybe today there's a surprise in my future afternoon that wouldn't have been there unless the events of time worked the way that they did. And it doesn't matter that I don't know how. It doesn't matter that I don't have it all figured out. But I just had to calm my nervous system and calm my thoughts by saying, I don't know why this is happening. It's really none of my business why this is happening. But I trust that my greatest and highest good is why this is happening. Right? And it made it a lot easier. It made me calm down. It made me smile. I was proud of myself. I was like, what could I see? Where could the light be in this? And I was proud of myself, right? Instead of sitting with my car for a week and waiting the way 2 places told me I had to, I was resourceful, right? I had limited resources, so I tapped into my resourcefulness and I said, wait a minute, maybe if I buy the part, I can take it to someone and they can install it. Like, this is when you're calm and you're not panicked and you trust, solutions come so much easier, right? Because the channels are open. Everything is like, huzzah, right? So that's the space that you create when you build a relationship of trust between you and God and the universe and source and all of it. And I think one of the reasons I was initially so pissed off, aside from the fact that I was like, this is going to cost me money that I didn't want to spend. And, that goes to the relationship I have with money, which is for another episode. But it was also my disappointment in not being able to walk at the park. And the reason I was so disappointed about not being able to walk at the park was because that time, there's so much foliage at this park. There's so much nature. It's so beautiful. There's like canopies of trees. It's quiet. I listen to music or YouTube inspirational talks, right? It's my time. It's time that I have carved out to move my body, to circulate my soul. And I get downloads. I get information all the time when I go on these walks. And so one of the things that was disappointing to me in the initial moment where my window broke is I was like, I have to leave this park and I can't go on my walk. And this is where I tap in and tune in to my deepest, highest self. Now, it doesn't mean it's the only place I can do it, but I just find it really easy to do it in that surrounding. Hi, Patricia. Hi, Becky. I'm so glad you guys are here with me. And so I had to like tune into myself without beautiful nature around. And I had to tune into myself with, music in my ears while this guy was telling me he couldn't fix my car. So it is always possible to tune into any moment. It is always possible to tap in no matter where you are. But does it help to go on walks and be in nature? Of course it does. It's like being in water, right? Those are all conduits for source energy to find its way into your system. It's like the cells just wake up. And the reason these walks have become so important to me is because the information that is coming through is nothing shy of epic, epic, epic shit. And I shouldn't say shit and epic at the same time, but epic, amazing things that are in my future that I'm starting to see in the now. Okay. And I'm going to say that again because my heart just palpitated. There is nothing as beautiful as connecting and channeling your future in the now moment, right? I had a vision of a wonderful moment in my future that I could begin to create right here, right now. Not only could I begin to create it right here, right now, but I am going to create it right here, right now. It is being created right here, right now. And so I want to give you a glimpse into what I am working on that came to me through my cells, through my gut, through my third eye, through everything that is good in me. But I am going to host an event in March. Most likely I'm going to host it in Georgia. And I am going to call it the Get Back Up Live event. Okay. And I'm a little shaky because I'm telling you, it was deposited in my brain. It was like a little gift from God. Like, here you go, sweet child. You can have this one. This is yours. And the Get Back Up Live event is going to be an event where we teach people, where people reconnect to their dreams and their stories. We are so often from little children told like, well, I want to be this when I grow up and I want to do this. And then you always have the people, who say that's not possible. It can't be done. Why don't you pick something else? Why don't you have a backup? How many of you grew up hearing you should have a backup? If you want to do something creative or artistic, it's like you should have a backup plan, right? No one ever says, well, fuck the backup plan. Go do it. Go be it. Go have it. Go experience it. Most parents don't do that, including me, because we're scared. We want our children to have security. We want our children to, have a life that is stable. Those are the words we've been taught to honor. We haven't been taught to honor spontaneity, creativity, imagination, risk, fearlessness. Those are not words, at least in my house. And I'm sure maybe many of you have had that, but I have not necessarily been raised with a fearless mentality to just go after it at all costs. And so and in the Reboot Your Life book, I start my book talking about this event that was hosted by my very, 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 very loving dear friend, Maru Ibachella, and her event was called Infinite Receiving. And when I got to this event, the Linda that was me who showed up was looking for rescue. The Linda that showed up to this event was really disconnected from herself. She was tuned out. Nothing was really tuned in. The Linda that went to this event felt afraid. She felt alone. She felt destitute. She felt like her dreams hadn't mattered in so long that she didn't even know if she had any. And this Linda was hurting and sad and scared. And I went to this event thinking to myself, this better work. It was like this little magic pill, whatever this is that I left my children for, that I spent money that I didn't have on, that I traveled for, that I am terrified of. This better fix me. Like I need it to fix me because I feel broken. And it did. But what I realized is the event didn't fix me because I was never broken. But what the event did, I feel emotional. What the event did is it just reminded me of who I was. What the event did is it tapped into my light, right? This light that I had hidden behind so many layers of limiting beliefs and limitations and doubt and fear that I couldn't see the light. It's like just the faintest spark, like little flame on a candle. And this event didn't give me a magic pill. This event didn't fix me because I wasn't broken. What this event did is it reconnected me. It tuned me to my highest vibration, to my highest frequency. And I went, holy shit, Linda, hi, it's me. Where have you been? I've been here. Where have you been? Here. And it was like meeting your best friend again for the first time, like your childhood friend. It was like meeting me all over again. It was like seeing me through a different lens, actually seeing me at all. Like, there you are, Peter. You know, when Peter Pan, she goes, there you are, Peter. When the adult Peter Pan finally shows that he remembers being this child, it was like, there you are, Linda. Welcome back. Welcome home. It was like, welcome home, right? Welcome back to you. Welcome back to your light. And by the way, don't ever dim that shit for anybody ever again. In fact, now that you have it back, turn it on and make it brighter and brighter and brighter and brighter and brighter and brighter. And if it's so bright that it's blinding, then only people with sunglasses can see you. Like, I don't know, right? But this whole vacillating thing that I've done my whole life, where like, oh, too bright, better dim down. Oh, too dark, better turn back on a little bit. Don't turn back on that bright. Other people are uncomfortable, dim back down. And trying to find this just right light. My just right light is bright. Your just right light is bright. And here's the thing, guys. If we all turn on our lights as bright as humanly possible, as bright as is possible for us, we can all see each other because we're all bright. We can't be afraid. We just have to go, wow, that's really bright. You know what? She's so bright. I'm going to turn mine up a little higher. Other people's light should be an encouragement to turn yours even higher and higher. That is what we should be for each other. Oh, wow, by seeing you, I realize I'm a little dimmer than I want to be, and crank that shit up. That's what it should be. Your light, your bright light should make me want to shine my bright light. It should not make me want to turn my power off. I stood outside at this event, and I'll never forget it. I was in the back of the hotel. I was by myself. No one was there because they were all inside, and I found a little side exit. This is not in my book. And I stood outside, and I was bawling. I was bawling and bawling and bawling in gratitude for finding myself again, in gratitude for reconnecting and tuning into me. Because I was so scared that I had lost me and I would never find me back. Like, I thought that was possible. It's not possible. I don't believe it's possible, but that was a fear I had. Like, are you ever gonna feel like you again? And I was so grateful. I was so grateful in that moment. I had met new people and they were seeing me, the highest frequency me. I could feel my like I was authentically me, and it felt so good, and they felt so good around me, and I was like, and she concurred. I stood outside of this hotel, and I looked up. Isla, stop. Isla, here. Come here. She might bark at me. I stood outside. She doesn't want me to tell this story. Come here, Isla. Come here. Well, you guys are going to have to hear the barking. She got Blueberry barking. That's hilarious. There's a dog barking outside, and she's trying to communicate with the dog. So I'm not trying to put her outside. Isla, here. Okay. I will tell this story one way or another. So I was outside, and I was crying, and I was thanking God for bringing me to this event. Like, I don't know how I got here. I don't know why I'm here or how I'm here, but I'm here. And I'm so thankful and grateful. And one day this will be me. I declared it. One day I will have this event, or an event, not this event, that will transform people's lives. One day someone will stand at my event and they will say, because of this, I found myself again, right? And not because of anyone, but because you just created the space, because you created an environment, because you witnessed their soul show up, their story show up, and you said, I see you. I got you. You're worthy. You're loved. You're valuable, right? That's the kind of space you hold at an event like this. And then people get to re-experience themselves all over again. And I declared at that event that that would be me. And these last few years, I've been waiting, like I always do, right? Thinking, waiting, planning. When is it going to be right? What is it going to be about? What am I going to teach? What am I going to say? What is my program going to be? And then one of my divine walks at the park, I was listening to music and I heard a message that said, listen to Glorious, the Macklemore song. If you haven't heard it, listen to it. And I listened to Glorious and there came my vision. Clear as day. It was an event that I saw in my mind from beginning to end. I saw who was there. I saw the music play. I heard the music playing. I saw the stage. I saw the tables. I saw the centerpieces. I felt the love in the room. And I even saw myself in the room so proud because I was watching women transform. And I thought, I don't have to do anything. All I have to do is hold space. All I have to do is give people a platform. All I have to do is make you believe in your story so that you tell it to everyone. So that you, when I invite you to come to my event to tell your story, you say, hell to the yes, I'm coming. And you tell your story because your story matters. Your story matters because you matter. Because you exist to matter. And that is the event that came to me. And there is nothing in this world that can stop the momentum of this moving train. I will, I shall, so be it, and so it is. So the event is called Get Back Up because that is what we do. We fall down and we get back up, right? That is what we tell our kids to do. Fall down and get back up because every time you take a breath, you've gotten back up. And it isn't always pretty. Have you ever fallen down? And sometimes my kid makes fun of me all the time because the way I get up, it's not very graceful. I like stand on all fours and then get up, like, you know, and the older I get, the less graceful I look when I get back up. But I get back up. When you try again, you get back up. When you tell your story and you're scared as shit, you get back up. When you hide, you go back out. Right? You get back up. And there's these beautiful stories in the world. When we work on Let's Get Virtual, we help people become authors. But they're telling their story, right? And they remember who they are. They remember that their story matters. They remember that it's worthy of sharing. That is my dream. That is my goal. I am going to have the Get Back Up live event in March of 2022. More details to follow, but it is a thing. It is my first event. It is where people are going to reconnect to themselves. They're going to reboot. They're going to go, there you are. There you are. I see you. And they're going to be talking to themselves. And they're going to say, I've missed you so much. I'm so glad you're back. And now I realize that everything I've ever been through in my life was so that I could share it with you. I realized that I went through a dark tunnel so I could light it up for you, and it won't be dark when you go through it. That matters. I realized that I went left, right, so that I could teach you how to go straight. That matters. I realized that some of the pain that I felt was so that you don't have to feel it. That matters. And that's what your stories do for other people. It helps them. It transforms them. It lights them up. So don't ever shut up. Don't ever shut up. Don't ever shut up. Don't ever stop telling your story. Don't ever be afraid to tell your story. Because just when you think that someone's not listening, you don't know. You don't know if someone's sitting on a couch in Minnesota with a bag of Cheetos in their hands and tears running down their face because they feel like they can't find themselves, and they feel alone, and they feel scared, and they feel tuned out. And guess what? Your message, your story just happens to just waft across their screen, right? Because that's God air, I call it. I call it God air. When God takes the messages and he kind of just like lets them flow past. Oh, what's that on my screen? That's how I found Maru. I didn't know Maru. I didn't know her from anything. She showed up on my feed. She floated in on God air. That's what I call it, because that is what I believe. And it changed my life. It's where I met Patricia, who is my soulmate on this planet, my female soul counterpart, right? It changed so many things. And so, yeah, we matter, each and every single one of us. And we have to trust, and we have to trust. I don't know how I'm going to do it. I don't know how I'm going to book an event and pay for an event before it ever happens. And I don't know how I'm going to get people to come. And I don't know how I'm going to get a beautiful stage. I don't know how I'm going to match the vision that I had. I want banners. I want authors. I want a red carpet. I know it's going to happen because that's why God gave it to me. I don't know how, but I'm sure that God air will float past me and give me all the answers that I need. The right people in the right time, at the right place, for the right reasons. It's all going to happen. And can you imagine if we all trusted the messages and when you think something and it gets you all excited and then you just let it float away. You think something that upsets you and that we'll hold on to. Like I think something makes me mad and I'll hold on to that all day long. But then I get a thought that I'm like, ooh, oh, that felt good. And then I'm like, float away, bye-bye. Because we don't believe in that. Because we're more willing to commit to the thoughts of resentment and anger and doubt than we are to the thoughts of divinity and inspiration and motivation. No, F that all day long. No more. I am not available for that anymore. What I'm available for is, oh, that felt good. And I wanted to keep feeling good. So how do I stoke it? How do I make this little flame huge? How do I make this little fire that I just started burst in me and in you? So that's the mission of this Tuned In show. It's to help you tune in while I tune in, while we tune in. I am also the co-host of Soul Seekers TV with the beautiful Patricia Rivera Wolfson. And if you don't follow her, please go to her Jumpstart for Change page every morning at 10 o'clock, just before Tuned In. You will find her Me First mornings. They're valuable. She does a routine that you should definitely employ if you don't, because it's magical and transformational. And also, Rebecca Moore just published a Dear Me journal that takes you through a transformational process. If you haven't bought it, if you don't know about it, reach out to her on her page. Go to Amazon and look for the Dear Me journal on how to become more. Okay, guys, we've got people. And if we just even tap in and tune into the power of the people we already know, there's an endless stream right there, let alone the people we haven't even met yet. There's an endless stream in just the people in your life right now. So tune into your heart, tune into your soul, and tune into me every weekday at 10:30 a.m. Eastern time, right here on Compass Productions. I love you. I trust you. I trust the universe. And I can't wait to start planning for Get Back Up. I love you guys.